Well, we got a mini Hogue to test out and review today. Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I'm your host, Aaron. You know, a while ago we tested out some larger folders and they were my first pocket knives that I had ever tested out from Hogue, and I loved them. They were super awesome, really connected with me. We had a blast. Well, since then I've gotten my hands on this mini Hogue, and the model number is X1MF. I want to make sure I got that right, read it off the blade for you, because there are a lot of different model numbers. You know, it doesn't necessarily have like a name to it. So this is like a little mini EDC laid out blade, designed by Hogue, USA made. Really excited to test this out. For those of you who have knife laws that require sub 3-inch blades, or you just like packing compact EDCable knives, that's what we're looking at today from Hogue. So let's go ahead, hop off over to the tabletop and see what this bad boy can do.
All right, here we are, hanging out, tabletop time. And we're gonna do some size perspective right out of the gate so you can get it in your mind, get it in your head space on what size range this pocket knife really rests in. Here is our previously reviewed, which kind of got me into Hogue knives. Forget this model number, EX01. This is the 3.5-inch version, just to give you guys a little perspective right there. So definitely a larger pocket knife. And then just for, again, size perspective, here's the Rat Model 2. This is the AUS 8 version. I'm gonna line up those pivot screws right there. Just see, even a little bit smaller than that guy. And then I have an Ontario Wraith as well, which is about the same size as that X-1. That's what I'm going to call this bad boy right here, X-1. So just want to give you some perspective. It is definitely a compact knife. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump right into the blade and the action portion of the blade. Now, this is their classic kind of drop point. They do have a Wharncliffe version as well, which is pretty cool. They've got black coated, stonewash, which is what we're looking at here. And so for perspective, we're looking at 2.625 inches overall blade length. So just coming in over 2.5 inches. And then you are looking at 0.12 on the thickness back there by the jimping, and then tapering down rather nicely right away. So there we go, just giving us a really good perspective. Classic drop point with a really nice swedge. Really like the aesthetics on the blade. And that swedge is going to help with a lot of performance as well. Now, this guy has a hollow grind, which I'm really thankful for, to be honest with you. So the only drawback that I had in the original Hogues was that they are saber grinds, which I absolutely love, and for the design of them being more kind of like heavy duty tactical folders, you know, heavy duty EDC, saber grinds rock. But they are pretty thick, and that was a little bit of a drawback that I mentioned, is that the slicing capability isn't quite as good as, say, like a thinner full flat grind or hollow grind blade. So they made these hollow grind, and I appreciate that. So this means that this guy is a wicked slicer. Very, very good on all slicing tasks for the Hogue X-1. This thing can really do a good job with all your finer cuts, sliding through cardboard very easily, rubber, you know, nylon rope, cordage, all your basic EDC tasks that you would want. I mean, this thing is designed to do that very well because of the hollow grind. It's not like some crazy abrupt hollow grind, which I appreciate as well. And hopefully you guys can pick up on that. It's not some crazy hollow grind that's very deep with a bad shoulder. The transition to the shoulder is really nice, to this flat area right here. Very easy for you to still slice, and it's not going to bind up or anything like that. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and talk about blade steel. And I actually had a data point that I had misspoken earlier, and when the video originally went live, so I took it down immediately and have had to edit it. That the old Hogue knives that we looked at with the EX-03, those are 154 cm. The X1 is actually CPM 154. Now they're in the same family. They're very similar steels. The edge retention is slightly better on CPM 154, and it's a little bit easier to get a keen edge on CPM 154 over 154 CM. So they are very similar, but I just wanted to fix that little data point there for you guys. It's a great steel, holds an edge well. And the CPM 154 is even a little easier to work with than 154 CM in my experience. And these are very rust resistant steels as well. So high humid environments, this is a great steel to use and to have on this type of blade. All right, we're going to take a look here at the handle. Now the handle is aluminum. This guy's going to come in at 2.9 ounces, so under 3 ounces. It's a little heavier than some other knives in the similar size range, but it's very durable. And the aluminum, you can do a lot of cool things with. It's very strong, very tough, very durable. And still, again, coming in at under 3 ounces, I'm totally happy with. Now, you're looking at 4 inches overall length from front to back, and you are looking at a handle height of 1.1 from top to bottom inches, and then you're looking at a maximum thickness of 0.55, and then tapering down a little bit near the back end from what I can tell. It just seems to taper just slightly, very similar to its big brother over here. We got this really cool machined aluminum spacer back there that's actually flow through, as you guys can see there. That's pretty sick. Never seen that before on a knife, really like that. That's pretty cool. Different transition. You know, we got the flat gray, and then we got the satin here that kind of matches the pocket clip and the blade itself. And you're getting kind of a non-lethal glass breaker back here, which is pretty nice as well. Now, because of the size of the knife, I mean, if I hold it right here, I barely got any space, but boom, I could do the non-lethal or break just a car window if I needed to. It definitely has that point to be able to do that. Now, we got flats on the sides with a little bit of texturing on this side, none on the other, with some good cut-ins, just really good machining on that aluminum all the way around. Now, I wear large size gloves, as you guys all know. You can see there, it's definitely gonna fit my hand, but just barely. My pinky is just resting on the very back end, right there with my large size hands. So I definitely have a full grip for this little compact knife, better than a lot of other little compact knives that are out there, but it is a small handle. Don't kid yourself. This is a tiny handle that is designed to just fill out that hand. Now, I don't have any hot spots when I grip really hard when I was bearing down, didn't create any kind of hot spots or anything like that. It is not as, smooth. It's definitely got a little bit more of a tactical feel to it than, say, again, just like the Wraith. I mean, there's no traction at all on this thing, but you can see all the transitions are a little more gradual, a little more comfortable in the hand. My wife commented, compared to her favorite, which is the Wrap Model 2 here, very simple, natural transitions, that this did feel a little sharp and abrupt in her hand, the transitions. Now for me with my hands, it didn't have any sort of issue, but it does feel a little bit more tactical and heavier, harder use for the size of the knife, really compact. So you're getting like a hard use compact folder, if that makes sense. So you got really good blocky jimping all the way along here. I was reading some reviews that were saying that this was like a little sharp. I didn't feel that when they were like flipping it. When I do that, it doesn't thrash my finger, my pointer finger or anything like that. I'm not having any sort of issues that way. There is some jimping on the back side here. No sharp angles. The angles aren't sharp in any way. They're just kind of abrupt, again, feeling more like a tactical knife than, say, like a light duty EDC, like some of these blades that we're looking at here, or even this polymer. This polymer is just got a little more simple, not as many transitions. This is supposed to give you a lot of grip in your hand for still being a really compact knife. Really good cut in with the flipper, so you could absolutely do really hard tasks, stabbing, prying, and it's not gonna wanna slide up and hurt yourself. So that's a big bonus. These guys, I wouldn't wanna be doing any hard use tasks with these because I'm gonna slide right up and cut my finger. So that's the trade-off, but I think it's for the design of being that kind of harder use compact folder, it's a good trade-off for what you're getting in its overall look, feel, and design. Okay, the only part of the knife that I'm not super stoked about, and is just it's a nitpick, but I had to bring it up because it's kind of annoying, is the pocket clip. So the good things are that it's totally ambidextrous. That's totally awesome. You get a little bit, enough sticking up to get a good pinch. Again, kind of letting it have that feel of like a quick deploying, self-defense tool, but it's this really compact folder. That's definitely kind of the vibe, the feel that you get with the tool. But again, ambidextrous, great, satin, all that. The issue is that this thing is like ginormously high and very high off the body of the knife, and I don't really know why. It's actually going up almost like at an angle. It's so high with this massive loop. Just to give you a perspective, here's a Steedman that has that same kind of concept, but you can see way lower profile and just feels better in the hand. This thing is so large and off the body that you do feel it when you're gripping and bearing down on the knife, and it doesn't help the ergonomics in any way. It's not horrible, but it's big. I mean, it's big, it's there, and if you bear down on it, there it is. You can see it right there on my hand. So they should have just brought this down a little lower. So I would literally unscrew this thing, and this is probably what I'm going to do after this video, and I'm just going to like pull this wire apart a little bit and just try and flatten the pocket clip and bring it a little closer to the body. It doesn't have to be that unless you're wearing like quadruple rolled reinforced pant lips, you know, and that's what you're putting this over. There's no need for that. So I'm not sure why they went that route. Now it's ambidextrous, whereas on the is it EX? Yeah, EX03, they only have it for righties, but I actually like the pocket clip here because it's way less profile. Just to show you here, just got to show that. If you guys can see that, way higher, just kind of obnoxious, wasn't needed. And if I were to buy this knife and you were to get it, I would literally take the pocket clip off and just kind of fiddle with this loop to try and bring the whole pocket clip closer to the body, and that will help with some of the ergonomics and just, you know, just a little bit better flow on the folder. So it's a nitpick, but it's something that is kind of annoying and something you may want to adjust when you purchase the knife. All right, we're going to talk price here real fast, and don't want to forget to remind you guys about knockaround sunglasses, and I don't know if you can see that right there, Hot Wheels. They actually just dropped a limited run recently. They may be sold out already. They re-upped their Hot Wheel limited run that they did. Super cool, polarized, flex fit, 35 bucks. Really cool packaging as well. Lots of fun in what they did with this design. They have limited run stuff for the whole family, all kinds of cool designs. Check them out. Simple way to help support the channel, links below. And thank you for using Blade HQ, Amazon hyperlinks for all the gear that you guys see week in, week out. When you guys purchase, literally pours fuel in the canister, in the fuel tank to keep us going here at the channel by using those Amazon Blade HQ and Knockaround hyperlinks below. So with all that being said, and let's go ahead. This guy right here. About 130 bucks. That's what this little guy is going to cost you. And when you look at its bigger brother, this guy goes between about 110 and $130. So very similar price point. It is a smaller blade, but you are looking at ambidextrous pocket clip and the aluminum handle, which it has a lot more machining, a lot more work, you know, that you have to put into a design like that. So it's very doable. And when I think of other knives kind of in that price range with similar steels, you know, I think of like a Benchmade mini Griptilian is going to be almost the same size, but that has a very lightweight polymer handle. It won't be as tough as this one. Almost the same size, and those guys usually go for about 100 bucks, you know, so right there in the ballpark. It's not the cheapest knife in that price range. It's definitely not the most expensive, and I think they're hitting a good price point for what you're getting and the attention to detail and just, you know, using different materials than just a polymer for this little guy right here. So as you guys know, I purchased the full size and the 3.5 inch version. This is the 3.5 inch, sorry, and the full size. Purchased both of those, and after we did the review on that, got in touch with Hogue, had a communication with them, and they sent this guy, this little one, over for us to test out and review so that I can give you guys honest feedback. I can show you what I like about it, the drawbacks to it, positives, negatives, so that you guys can make that wise choice. That's what we always want to do here, is give you guys that type of data point so you can go, oh, that's exactly what I'm looking for, or nope, that is not what I need. I need to pass on that and go with something else. That's what we always want to do here at the channel when we give you guys these data points to help you make those wise decisions. We always want you guys to be happy with the products. That's why we started the channel. When you see an item and you go, yep, that's for me, we want to give you guys that feedback and honest critiques of the designs so you know what you're getting and you're happy with what you get. Who doesn't like a good flipper? So this is going to be a totally ambidextrous deployment here. Really nice. They really did that well. There's just a little bit of mild jimping. It's not sharp. Man, I've had some flippers that just kind of suck. You know, the flipper is just too abrupt. It's not fun to put the pressure on. This guy, it's very easy to do so. I can easily just hit that guy, not even flick the wrist. Boom, I'm in action and ready to go. Very smooth. We have a plunge lock system, which Hogue is known for. So we got that really nice plunge lock button right there. So you open the bad boy up, the plunge lock takes effect right there. Really well done. Then you just depress that guy out of the way. The blade will fall all the way back into place before it hits, I believe it's the stop bar right there, the stop pin right there. And then you do have to snap it into place. The detent is like mind-blowing. This is an amazing good detent, but then when you put pressure on it, it just flies right open. I don't know how they're doing it. I think it's sucking around it's not hitting the stop bar, it's hitting the plunge lock. That's what it's doing. It's capturing the plunge lock, and then that keeps an amazing mind-blowing detent on there. So it's not like this guy where I could close it and whip it completely closed and then open it up. There is a secondary stop but then you just snap it in, and then mind-blowing. I mean, I can whip this guy open if I really try without touching anything. You cannot do that on this guy. That will never happen. Can't happen on this guy. So great centering, dead center, and then it does have this secondary locking mechanism that you push that forward, locks into place. You cannot depress the locking mechanism, the plunge lock. You push it back in and it'll fall right back down into place. It doesn't engage as a safety. I think some people would like that as a safety. It doesn't. Some people hate safeties. I don't know. It's neither here nor there. I don't use it. Let's put it that way. I never use it one way or the other, but it is there, and it's, you know, nice and flush. And if you want to use it as an extra, you know, safety measure to accidentally, so you won't accidentally depress it when you're cutting on the knife, that's great. But centering, lockup, all of that, super great. No wobble, upright, side to side, great lockup. Really nice.
Well, folks, there you have it. Here is the final thought that I have with this knife. If you are looking for some premium features, meaning like a push button lock over like liner lock or axis locks, an extra backup, you know, safety for strength and durability, and just a fun action to it, this is a great little EDC blade. Yeah, I have a little bit of a hang up with the pocket clip. It's not a deal killer by any means. And everything else about the knife for a little compact blade is durable, it's tough, and it's fun and performs. All those things matter. If it's not fun, are you gonna really carry it? If it doesn't perform, why would you carry it? And then all of those things coming together to give you this little EDC blade that is a blast. So thank you guys so much for coming over here today and checking out the channel. I do hope that this video has helped you out, show you what this little blade can do, what it can't, and whether or not it's gonna be the right choice for you in your EDC mini system. So thank you so much. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, social media. It's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects we're working on. Don't forget about the mailbag. Put hashtag mailbag, ask a question. You might get it answered in an upcoming video. Man, don't forget about the Saturday Gideon's Tactical Show. Completely different. We don't review stuff. We talk concepts, thoughts, philosophy. It's a fun, entertaining part of the channel that we're doing here. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.